Welcome back, boxing fans, to another great show with Sean on Boxing. Right now, we're watching Abdulayev versus Abreu. This was the fight that I wanted to see, and so far, it's going exactly the way I expected. Abdulayev is just taking this kid apart. And for Abdulayev, this is only his fourth professional fight. He's in there with a veteran fighter with a lot of experience. So it's a good opponent. Obviously, a guy that's put in there to give him work, help him continue to refine his skill set and move forward in the pro game. Abdulayev obviously is a highly acclaimed amateur fighter who is now obviously making his pro career and in a long line of Uzbek fighters. So he's doing fantastic so far. So far, this has been easy work. But as I mentioned in my live the other day, or not my live, but my breakdown of this fight card, you can see that he's a undersized fighter for this weight division. So he's always going to be a guy who's giving up height and length and basically, always the smaller fighter in the ring. Because he's getting hit with quite a few jabs, and you can only imagine that once he steps up and fights uh, more elite competition, that's going to be a real issue. So he's going to have to really focus on uh, getting his head off the line, using his feet to create a little better angles so that he's not always in line for that jab. But so far, so good. Abdullah Ab Abreu is coming back in this round. Last round, it looked like he was almost on his way out, but he's come back pretty strong this round. Abdullayev is showing a good left hook to the body. If you want to be a pro, you better have good body work and you better be a good inside fighter. And these are obviously all skill sets that you would think a guy like him should be able to do, as well as being a good boxer coming from. Oh, Abreu was down after a big right hand pulling him into the pocket. As I talked about the other day, the one thing kind of missing from Ruslan Abdullayev's career is he looks obviously like he's a powerful puncher, but he hasn't had a lot of knockout success so far early in his career. Only one knockout in three fights. So it'd be nice to get an impressive knockout this one to go to two knockouts and four victories. Let's see how he can close. Not much time left in the round. He's being patient, not being too wild, which is smart. Good body shot. Good rounds, good comeback. So let's see who's in the house. Stringer from above, what's up, Jaime? I was wondering if you were going live. Who's fighting, bro? Right now is Ruslan Abdullayev, a Golden Boy fighter, a young kid. This is his fourth professional fight. I don't know what to make of this guy Curiel is facing. You think Curiel stops him? What happened to Rocha? When did Rocha pull out of the fight? Like I only saw it today when I was looking at the poster, and it was talking about Curiel versus a guy who was on the undercard, right? So I don't expect him to be much. Dude looks slow. This Jordan guy that Curiel is in with. Virgil saying Oscar, laugh out loud. I don't know what to make of it. This is not unusual, right? Weight bully. Rocha missed weight. So weight bully issues kicked in. Here we go. Round four. Let's see if Ruslan can get this kid out of here. Obviously, that's going to be the talking point of this whole fight card is really the whole Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Oscar De La Hoya. But you got to blame Virgil and his team because the truth is what Oscar is doing is not wrong. Not rushing Virgil into a fight with Boots Ennis right now, especially for B-side type of situation, is smart. That's what he should be doing, right? You don't want to do what they did with Ryan Garcia and Jared Anderson, where you end up just jumping in for some, oh, the end is near. Just jump in for one paycheck, but then ruin the fucking career of the fighter. And as far as a person who's held back his career, that's all on Ortiz. Him being a weight bully at 147 pounds virtually almost destroyed his career. That has nothing to do with Oscar De La Hoya. That's to do with his training team and his father and everybody in his inner circle who were forcing him to make 147 pounds. And as far as the Errol Spence fight, what they thought the Errol Spence fight was realistic? Come on, man. Like if Errol Spence fights Tim Tszyu and beats him, now that fight becomes realistic. But outside of that, the biggest problem they should have is the fact that they haven't been pushing for the WBC world title fight with Funduro. Because that's the fight he deserves and fight he should make, right? As far as a Boots Ennis fight, that fight should happen after both of those guys win a world title, to be fair. I saw John Boxing today talking about how nobody's blaming De La Hoya because he's not Al Heyman. It's funny that John says that, but yet I've seen so much hate over the years towards Bob Arum, De La Hoya, what's his face, Eddie Hearn, like unbelievable hate consistently towards those non-black promoters. The reality is nobody's ever respected promoters. I've never seen anyone be a dick rider for a promoter, except of course for the FBA boxing fan who've been dick riders for Al Heyman and the PBC. Never before have we seen that until that happened. And then they have kickback because people hold all promoters accountable and are critical of all promoters because we understand they're only in it for the money. Yeah, exactly. Nothing's changed. They're in it for the money. Abreu is a good kind of opponent, right? An aggressive, come forward type of guy, not too finesse or too fancy. So at least he's giving Ruslan a target. But disappointing that Ruslan couldn't go in there and get rid of him after the knockdown in the last round. Uh, where are we? Shalom. What's up, Hawker? Lots of boxing news coming lately. I heard Opataya signed with Zuffa Boxing. I heard the fight between Usyk and Wilder is going to be all the way in July. This is ridiculous. Laugh out loud. Think how long we are going to have to listen to Wilder fanboys claiming he is rejuvenated. Well, we've got a lot of mixed messages with that. They were going to say it wasn't going to happen, and now at least it is going to happen. Apparently in San Francisco. I don't know how that sells or go wherever. Shame on Usyk. Cavial gets a decent sized cut in the one fight. He just won, but he took care of business. What do you think about Shrek? I mean, Tyson Fury coming out of retirement, thinking he deserves a title shot. Well, he sells, right? So it's understandable. And him versus what's his face? That's a great fight. I think it's a dangerous fight, a very interesting fight. Obviously, we know what's his face is there to be outboxed, but his power is unprecedented. So he's a danger for fucking Fury. I do want to see Usyk versus Wilder just to see the LDBC meltdown after Wilder gets stopped. I saw World Pataya signed with one company called Zuffa Boxing. Zuffa, you know Zuffa. What do you mean one company? The only fight I want to see is Fury is against AJ. Yeah, that's obviously the biggest fight. But right now, there's some unpredictability with regards to AJ after obviously what happened with his team. So it's good if Fury gets back in the ring. If he's able to beat fucking what's his face, the what is he, IBF champion, WBO champion, to get a world title, that's going to make the AJ fight even more credible, even more credible. Good body work by Ruslan. Isn't it funny how some gloves look small on guys and some gloves looks big on guys? Like Ruslan looks like he's wearing balloons on his hands, whereas you see some fighters and it looks like they just got like bag mitts on. I think when it comes to it, Ruslan is not really a hard puncher. I haven't seen anything so far in his professional career that makes me think that he's like a devastating puncher, which is disappointing. Obviously, he would be way more marketable if he had some real pop. And he is sitting down on his punches, so oh, nice shot. There you go. Oh, see, that's combination punching, man. You put your hands together and then you end up hitting a guy with something he didn't see. That nice little left hand. Guy didn't see it coming. Boom, 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 boom. And that was the end. Can you finish him? Only 30 seconds to go. Let your hands go. If you throw volume, don't try to go for big shots. Volume, throw lots of shots. You don't even know if you throw power shots. The ref's liable to jump in. Let your hands go. Let your hands go. This kind of loading up stuff, it never works. Oh, nice shot. There you go. Let those hands go. That's what I said. Let those hands go. Ruslan. Good victory. 4 and 0, 2 KOs. Yes, Zufa, TKO, Dana White. Usyk can pick who he wants. Apparently, he wants to snub the narrative. I think Usyk fighting Wilder makes sense. Wilder's the last name of this generation. And as far as Fury coming back to fight, what's his face? Why can't I think of his name? The English fucking guy with big power makes sense as well. How about Cheeseburger Nation hating on Usyk, talking about he's ducking Wardley? He said Usyk has never beaten a young lion. So what the fuck was Daniel Dubois? Like Cheeseburger Nation, we know he's just a race-based fucking hater who's never going to support a non-black fighter. Like that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Wardley is not a fucking Fury. Wardley is not a fucking AJ. Wardley is not at this point a Daniel Dubois. So highlighting him, come on, man, get fucking real. And the irony is, if he didn't fight Wilder, 2 or 3 years down the line, a fucking fat ass motherfucker like this would come out and discredit Usyk, saying, "Well, he never beat Wilder, right? He ducked Wilder. He ducked Wilder." You know that narrative was gonna fucking happen. Wardley is a unknown, untested fighter that the majority of Americans don't even know who the fuck that guy is. Do you think Wardley and Wilder have parallels? Laugh out loud. I do, but that's funny. Is Wardley? I think is a way better fighter, even prime for prime. I don't know if he's a better fighter, but they both obviously live off of their power. Wardley is kind of similar in the sense he comes from behind like Wilder did. But yeah, Fury and Wardley is a great fight. Great fight. Dangerous. Man, I don't like how Canelo was going to fight in Riyadh. Should have been in Vegas so I could go. That's true, but think about it though. He's getting huge money, and it's going to be Mexico versus the world. So if you want to pull Mexican fans into that fight, you should have really done it in fucking the States, right? Not Riyadh season. But Riyadh is paying big money to get that fight there. And it's the same thing as the Japan versus the world card. You're giving all these fighters a huge platform to help build up their name, get career fucking type of money, especially for the non Canelo guys in the card. So, I mean, I can't hate on it, but I get it. Obviously, a Mexican fan base is pretty big, and I don't know if Mexican fan bases travel. So, doing it in the US would have made way more sense. Was Dubois not young? Dubois was young. Uh, has Wilder even fought a young lion? No, no young lion. Cheeseburger Nation has also said that Inui Nakatani is not a big fight. See, but that's once again, this is a guy who lives in Asia who's talking out of his ass. Inui versus Nakatani is the biggest fight of 2026, bar fucking none. The attention it's going to get in Japan is going to be far bigger than any other fight gets this year globally. It's going to be huge. It's going to sell out 50,000 fucking stadium. The only fight that might parallel that would be Fury versus AJ in the UK. In the States, there's no fucking fight that's going to fucking generate nearly as much interest and revenue as Nui Nakatani. This is the biggest fight in Japanese boxing fucking history. If Americans don't like it, Japan don't give a fuck. Truthfully, why would they care? It's like Eubank fighting Ben. They don't care that Americans aren't interested in it because that's not the fucking audience they're aiming for, right? Eubank and Ben is aimed for the UK audience. If some non-UK people are interested in watch it, great, all the better. Anui Nakatani is not for fucking miserable, fucking hating fucking fans. It's for Japanese fans. Cheeseburger Nation also said that Anui Nakatani is not a big fight. Why isn't there any push for Wardy versus Cabial? Great test, God both. Uh, that's a great fight, and that's a fight that should happen. And actually, both guys were talking about it after Cabial. Cabial said, "Yeah, sign me up. We can do it in fucking Germany, or I can go to England." That's the fight to make. Cabial versus fucking Wardley, right? And if you're a real boxing fan, that should be one of the fights you really want to watch. Because think about that stylistically. Whoo-wee. That's a fucking slug fest. Sometimes you do certain things that nullify your legacy. In my view, what Usyk is doing is so damaging in his legacy, even though he's off. No, it's not, David. Stop. This is nothing different than fucking 99% of fucking great champions have done in their careers. Nothing different. Historically, when people look at him beating Wilder, there's not going to be any fucking negativity thrown in. They just might say that Wilder wasn't at his best at that point, and that's it. Right? This is the guy who could have retired. So anything he does now is gravy. Do you think Gassiev is dangerous heavyweight? No. That win, he went on to age well. I saw the top five rankings. I think he is number five. Facts. I like what Usyk has done, but the Wilder fight is just so bad. It's hard to see. This is you, David, just hating Wilder because in truth, it ain't that big of a deal. Banger. It's a banger. You see Bruce Wayne in Triple Cheeseburger. Dante saying that Usyk is not that special. They biased and racist, but they always cry about racism, Sean. I know. This is typical of what I've been pointing out for fucking years with regards to those channels. The ones who perpetuated the whole racist fucking back and forth have been primarily these kind of channels, right? Why? Money off of fucking social media and AdSense because they know there's a huge group of young Black Americans who buy right into this fucking poor me mentality. The world's against me. I can't do better because fucking I'm Black, and they buy into this. And they're the ones that they're aiming for. They fucking are just fucking the race card fucking generation, right? And this new generation's fucked anyway, regardless of what color you are. But specifically, that's the group they're aiming for. This, oh, poor me, I'm a brother, and I just can't fucking catch a break. Three of Usyk's fights were rematches. He could have already picked some of those dudes off. Laugh out loud. This guy Wilder went 7 rounds with a guy. Richard Torres stopped in the first round. It's not a credible fight. Ah, David, sometimes you just get into this fixated mentality. That guy was some kind of 9 to 5 worker, Herden. Uh, why am I the only one who wants to see Wilder get demolished again? You're not, Jaime. I mean, truthful, in America, this fight sells, right? If Usyk's going to do a fight in the US, this is easily the best and biggest fight he could do because Wilder still has name recognition. Whether hardcore fans recognize him anymore as being legitimate, casuals don't care. Casual fans, this poor me fucking the world's against me because I'm a brother type of mentality, these dudes are going to be all over it because they think this is going to be the opportunity to fucking reestablish Wilder as the fucking baddest man on the planet and show that FBA fighters dominate the sport of boxing. You know what I'm talking about. The John Boxings, the rest of them. They're going to all talk about it. It's a cherry pick, but they are fucking praying fucking to their God, whoever it may be, that he fucking lands a big shot and beats Usyk, right? Just so they can say Usyk's a hype job, Wilder's a fucking ATG. You know what they're going to say. You already fucking know the narratives. How the fuck does one bad fight ruin your entire phenomenal body of work? That sounds like LDBC narrative, David. Exactly. Heard Virgil suing De La Hoya. He is. But see, out of everyone in the sport of boxing, does Virgil Ortiz really have the time right now to piss away his fucking career to sue fucking Golden Boy. This is a guy who almost ruined his career because of fucking the whole weight issue that he had, right? Lost almost 2 years out of his career. That's why now he's almost 30 years old, never been a world champion, right? That's not Oscar's fucking fault. That's this dude's fault. He was set up for a big standing on his fight. Thanks, Oscar. All the fights he's had so far at 154, big fights, right? They had the fight set for him versus Boots. Boots pulled out. So, you know, I'm not trying to fanboy for Oscar because I have nothing good to say about Oscar, but this is about pissing your career away. And this is like what Mikey Garcia did when he fucking basically ducked Bud Crawford back in the day. Also, fucking, he could get out of his contract with Bob Arum. It took 2 years out of his fucking career. Andre Ward, the same. Uh, Trained with a 42-year-old Muay Thai dude that went to Thailand 3 times. He's a straight beast. He would destroy Shakur in a real fight. Tio. Anyone hating on Usyk fighting Wilder is probably one who planned to say he never fought Wilder. Now they mad the boy going to get beat like a drum. Welcome back. Uh, oh yeah, about Matthias getting starched. I knew that was coming at some point. Oh, of course you did. I honestly think Usyk beats Cabial. It will be the best win of his career. Cabial turning into a KO artist. It's wild how Ryan Garcia might become champion sooner than Ortiz. Well, to be fair, both of them always had tons of talent, and Ryan Garcia more marketable. So it's not that wild. I think it's mainly because Wilder is washed. To be fair, if it was prime Wilder, it would be interesting. I'm not complaining though. Good point about Mikey. Mikey Garcia turned down a fight with Linares too. Matias had never fought a guy who had concussive power. Jukumbayev is decent, but he's too small. Didn't know when. Sometimes in 217, I think. Ergasayev had decent stoppage record, but he was a stab wound in his leg, supposedly. Caballo's a beast. You got to remember, Usyk is getting old. Usyk is too good. He got this. I think the Caballero fight is the most dangerous fight in Usyk's career, right? And I think Caballero fucking beats Wardley, beats him, starches him, knocks him out. The body work by the fucking sixth, seventh round, Wardley's gonna be fucking done like dinner. But great fights, all of them. Make them, I will be fucking hyped. But credit to Matthias, he fought some guy that other dudes would have avoided. If this was Prime Wilder, he wouldn't agree to fight Usyk. That's true. I agree. If Usyk beats Cabial, it's his best win. Sean, too good. You will see. Nah, Fury is better. Who's too good? What will I see? Fury is better? Better than who? Ah, for wins. Yeah. Fury is a better win than Cabial, just because Cabial's never been a world champion. But let's hear what these clowns are saying. Oh, that guy's career is done with Golden Boy and probably in boxing. He had an opportunity to double his money and get a guaranteed comeback fight if he got beat, right? Those big money fights would have fucking set him up. But now he's going to regret that shit forever because we'll probably never hear his name again. Are they talking to Oscar? Not now. They're just the commentators. Chaz Witherspoon was the most dangerous fighter for Usyk so far. Stream it free. Just kidding. Laugh out loud. Of course, you're just fucking kidding. Nobody took you serious. So Flores versus Chavez. So two fights have been ruined on this card. That's the bad Oscar De La Hoya karma coming down to fucking bite him in the ass. You know, this is his own card, and then you're putting on fights that are falling through. That's not going to make the zone happy, Oscar. The guy was literally a car salesman. Are Curiel and Rocha still fighting? No. Rocha is not fighting because he didn't make weight. So Curiel is fighting a replacement opponent, which again for Rocha is bad for him, right? This is a guy who was going to get a career high payday today, tried to redeem himself, and now he becomes fucking really irrelevant because at 154 pounds, who's really putting much fucking stock in Rocha moving forward at that division? Chisora low key gave Usyk better competition than AJ Fury and Dubois. Well, Chisora is a tough motherfucker, right? And stylistically, that's the perfect style against Usyk, a guy that pressures him in his chest, pushing him backwards all night. Fury gave him a tough fight, but come on, Chisora gave him fits. I think even he would tell you Chisora was his toughest opponent at heavyweight, especially since it was one of his first fights at the weight division. We've been waiting for Chavez. They probably should have put this fight on the headline. Who's Murta? Is that Curiel? All I know is it's disappointing. I mean, the first fight was one of the contenders for fight of the year, right? So people were really stoked to see the rematch. Oh, Murtazaliev. Ah, well, he's going to be fighting Josh Kelly, right? This year. That fight's already in the books. So that fight's going to happen. That's a good fight, not necessarily a great fight, but for a guy like uh, Murtazaliev, he just needs to stay busy, man. Too much time sitting around fucking twiddling his thumbs. That shit don't help. What do you guys think about yesterday? I heard that the Nikita Zoo versus Michael Zarafa fight was a fucking shit fest. I'm sorry I missed it. I kind of forgot, right? Because it's at the same time I'm home on Friday night, so I could have watched it. But apparently Nikita Zoo was beating the crap out of fucking Zarafa, and Zarafa did what he does, which is fucking quit. That's why Tim Zoo didn't want to fight that guy because he knew he was a fucking coward and a fucking scumbag. So he didn't want to give him a payday, right? He's like, fuck that guy. I'm not going to help his career. He needs to be 15 days from now. He will be stacked day for boxing. That's true. But yeah, it's a shame for Nikita Zoo. That would have been a big win for him beating Michael Zarafa. But he doesn't lose anything from it. Obviously, people still realize he was beating the crap out of Zarafa, and Zarafa just pulled a bitch move. Liam Wilson got the KO like I predicted. I was wrong with the Blake Wells fight, even though that fight it didn't turn out very well. What was the decision there? Accidental head clash. Doc stopped the contest in round 9 for a technical decision win for Blake Wells. So my prediction could have still came true, but unfortunately, yeah, head clash fucking ruined it. What was my other one? Ah, yes, Dempsey McKean. I predicted Dempsey McKean would knock out the Pacific Islander, and he did it, but slower than I thought. 7 round in the 8 round fight. So overall, my predictions weren't bad. 3 of them were on the on the target. And of course, the Nikita Zoo fight, who could have predicted that shit would have happened? Too bad. And it's coming for Mirzaliev. I don't think so. Jermaine Ortiz and Teo pay 16-1 on a two-way support. Uh, Ennis and Muratala is a good fight. Ennis better be fighting Muratala. Dude hasn't done shit in boxing. He should have pushed for the fight right when he moved up. Even Shakur will win. Josh Kelly is fighting Murzaliev. Poor bloke. Hey, thank you very much, Hollow Ninja. Lord Jesus Christ, please forgive us for our sins. What happened? Two got to take it to him. He's fast enough to get to him. With a name like Dempsey, you know he pops planned for him to be a boxer. Jack Dempsey, nah, he will jump. And not to be set to punch, Tio will follow him and punch him on the way out. Well, the majority of people are predicting that Shakur outboxes Tio because we've seen Tio struggle before with boxers. The one thing with Tio is we've also seen him step up against the best competition he's been in with. So it'll be curious to see how he can make adjustments and what he can do. If he can pressure Shakur and follow him on the way out, landing big shots, he can win, right? He's a much better fighter than Cepeda, but Cepeda stylistically is a better matchup for a guy like Shakur than Tio is. But regardless, whoever wins is going to be in my top 5 pound for pound list over Devin Haney because that is a legacy fucking fight for sure. Hollow Ninja says Funduro versus Thurman shouldn't be fighting, man. Wow, we've been saying that for fucking years. That's just a bullshit fucking PBC fight. Like, see, this is what John does. He will defend all this kind of shit the PBC does, and then when people are critical, just call it racism. If any promoter was putting on a Funduro Keith Thurman fight, they'd be criticized. Any promoter. Teal can absolutely stick to Shakur whenever he wants. Thurman got this. Two isn't going to sit on outside all night. Ral, he's going to make Shakur fight in the fight. Tio is not Canelo. Now Shakur is fast and also he can move out. Tio is a gifted athlete. Well, that's the thing. We have to see what his athleticism and specifically foot speed can do to Shakur. Because as many people pointed out, Shakur is not, now that he's a pro, a guy that really uses his feet all that much, right? A lot of the stuff he does are subtle movements, not like a lot of foot movement. So Tio might have the advantage in foot movement over him, but he's not as fast as Tio. He literally walks back on the ropes, standing up against Cepeda. Where are we? If Teal gets aggressive, he might get dropped like Sandor did to him. He is better off boxing. Well, I think you can be both, right? You need to be aggressive at times. You need to box at times. You need to maul at times. You need to fucking hold, hit, be physical at times. If you want to beat Shakur, you can't be predictable. You need to be able to adjust in the ring. Being able to adjust, that's what you need to do to beat a guy like Shakur. With the PBC stay in business now that Tank is done, well, apparently the fighters for the PBC are all working with Turkey Al Sheikh on the zone, right? So they're putting a lot of PBC cards together, but it's all sort of funded and put forward by Turkey Al Sheikh. So if Turkey Al Sheikh and DAZN absorbs the PBC, actually that would be fucking great. That means we get to see the PBC on DAZN, and it would be way better for the sport of boxing. Uh, but we shouldn't lose Oscar De La Hoya either. We don't want to lose one and gain the other. It won't be easy. We saw him having issues cutting off before. Shakur 8-4, in my opinion. Shakur has fast hands. Tank is the type to mess up a winning lottery ticket. What a dumbass that he is. I don't understand how people can't see that Tio will be in range to hit Shakur all night. Santos isn't the athlete Tio is, and he has Shakur scared for his life. He's also a more natural 140 pounder and much longer than Tio is. Tio is not long. Where are we? Yeah, but even establishment Shakur's side, Spada took way more rounds off. Shakur is a smaller guy. Barboza was bigger than Tio. I don't even think he beat Edwin Draw at best, but gave it to him. Yep, Tio needs to win 9 rounds convincingly. Exactly. Here we go, though. The fight is about to start, and this dude's got a fucking rat tail. Oh, man. If I was his trainer, I'd cut that shit off. Flores, Chavez, two. Nice body shot. I think that's going to be an important punch. That straight left right to the body. It's going to open up for the right hand for sure. This fight should be a really fun fight. Flores, Chavez. I got Flores with the fucking stoppage. Even though I don't like the ponytail. Well, I think Shakur initially might kind of be like Lomachenko was against Tio, a little tentative to let his hands go because of Tio's speed and power. But that's initial, the first 2 or 3 rounds. And then I think he will start figuring him out, timing him. And from rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, he'll start making Tio look bad. Tio will start getting frustrated, and it'll be important to see how Tio adjusts from there. If he can change up and give Shakur some different looks, because what you want to do with Shakur is you want to make sure you consistently are touching him, not necessarily power shots, but just consistently touching him, right? So he knows that you're in range and you're being effective. And he's a low volume puncher, so if he can't hurt you and can't stop you from being effective, I think it'll be interesting to see how he then adapts as well. Then I think it'll really turn into a bit of a slugfest, which could benefit Tio at that point, going into the ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th rounds. Because we saw Tio step up when he was in with Lomachenko in the 12th round, when it was really just head to head and he had to fight like a dog. And he fought really well in that round. That was the round that I thought saved him from the draw. I thought the fight was a draw. If Lomachenko ended up winning the 12th round, it would have been potentially a Loma win if he could have dropped or stopped. Obviously, if he stopped Tio, which I thought he might be able to drop him in the 12th round. So I thought Lomachenko could still win the fight. But then Tio came out and fought like a fucking dog in that 12th round. And that's really why I walked away thinking, yeah, he won, man. Tio lacks ring coverage for sure. He lacks length. Yep. Funduro. Holland just says, I got Tio winning, but Shakur can win if he sticks to the main style, but it will make for a boring fight. Tio has better technique, but Shakur's IQ. Thank you very much. Bang. Bang says Tio lacks ring coverage for sure. He lacks the length. And with a guy like Shakur, length is an issue, right? He had problems with long fighters, De Los Santos, Nakatila, right? Long fighters are guys that made him struggle a bit because he's a great boxer, but he doesn't have long arms. I think his reach is like 69, 68, which is not much longer than Lomachenko's, right? And to be fair, Tio doesn't have the longest reach either. They better not give Shakur the fight if he stinks out. Well, that's the other side of the fence, right? If Shakur wins in a real boring fucking fight, I mean, obviously it's great for him and it's a legacy victory, but it doesn't benefit boxing as a whole to have a guy beat a young, exciting fighter by stinking the joint out. And that's no hate. That's just that casual fans don't want to watch a guy win that way. They'd rather see fucking Tio land a huge counter shot and fucking crumple fucking Shakur onto the canvas, or vice versa. If Shakur could do it, that would fucking blow people's minds away. If he went in there and landed a fucking crunching counter shot that fucking just left Tio on the floor, like Tio did with Richard Comey, that would be perfect. Doesn't matter who wins, as long as it's a fucking statement victory, especially for such a big legacy fight like this. People want to see something that makes an impact, right? Something that grabs casual fans by the throat and fucking won't let go like a fucking pit bull. Not some boring ass fight where they talk about it being competitive, but nobody fucking even wants to dream about a rematch. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen. You get a competitive fight where neither guy really shows their dominance, but then the fight was so boring, nobody would fucking ever want to watch a rematch of the fight again. It was like, yeah, yeah, okay, that's gone. Let's fucking move on. Nobody wants to watch that shit ever. Evan, you watching Kansas? I was watching Kansas versus Baylor before I was watching this, and I was sort of thinking, am I going to stay and watch that basketball game? Because living in Taiwan, right, I don't get to watch live college basketball too much. So I was like, oh, basketball on DAZN. I get to watch fucking the best university player in the world play. Oh, that kid's good, man. That kid's good. I don't know if he's going to be one of the top three draft picks this year, but as far as his maturity and his ability to score 20 points next year, he's the man. Purdue struggled with Iowa. Yeah, I watched the highlights yesterday after you left me that comment. But Kansas, that kid is fucking unbelievable. Have you ever seen somebody with a shooting stroke and consistency of him since fucking Steph Curry when he played for that university that he played for? Well, I can't think. Davidson. Oh, I told you, Chavez looks like he's getting his ass beat. Brandon Smith, AJ DeBonsa are great. Duke guy is good too. Oh, don't forget the North Carolina kid. That kid, his upside is way bigger than the Duke kid, I think, because his interior defense and second jump ability, he's going to average more rebounds than DeBonsa and fucking the kid from Duke. Darren Peterson, man, what a fucking shooter. That kid's going to come into the NBA next year and easily fucking average 20 points as long as injuries aren't an issue. His stroke is fucking unbelievable. And even if you're up on him, it don't matter. He's still going to fucking shoot that thing right in your face. He's just on a whole nother level. The one thing I think that potentially stops him from being like a superstar, I don't think he's got the athleticism to be a great defender and a superstar player. But he's a great second tier scorer on a team because that kid's going to average 20 points for his fucking whole career. Yeah. Round three, Flores. I just don't see how Chavez is going to win on the outside like he is right now. I just don't think he's even being effective, really, for the most part. With a name like Chavez, I would expect him to be more aggressive come forward. Come on, Flores. Oh, that's a nice shot from Chavez. Nice right hand. No, you pushed him behind the head. Come on, man. Oh, I was watching some highlights of the NBA. Oh, fuck, man. What's wrong with the refs now? Like, dudes in there traveling, like taking like 4 or 5 fucking steps without a travel call being made. I literally saw the dude for Dallas, the short point guard, whose brother plays for fucking Indiana. He got the ball, took 2 dribbles, and went from one end of the floor all the way to the other end of the floor, like 2 or 3 dribbles. And the kid's like 5'11". Like, it's impossible unless it's like give and go passing. Like, for you to have 3 dribbles and go the whole length of the floor for a layup, it's like, oh my God. And LeBron James, like fucking you pick up your fucking pivot foot and then you still take 2 steps after you pick up your pivot foot, and then it's not a travel. Some of the plays I've seen are ridiculous. Those step sideways moves after you do your 2 moves, and then you give up your pivot foot and take a big step to the fucking left side to take your open jump shot, because the defender's like, fucking Christ, man, how can I defend a guy who's picking up the ball and running around the fucking floor? It's like when you used to play basketball with kids, right? And they don't dribble the ball, they just pick it up and run around the floor with it. That's like the NBA right now. There was always tons of traveling, Allen Iverson with the crossover and carrying the ball, but the shit now, holy fuck, man. Ridiculous. Nice shot, Flores. The Hezi used to be a carry. Well, I mean, who made that, right? AI. And AI did it, and then it became sort of a staple. Who are you picking between Brandon and Nick Ball? I'm picking Nick Ball. Nick Ball been in with long, long fighters before when he fought what's his face Vargas, and most people think he beat Vargas, and I don't think Brandon Figueroa is as good as Vargas is. So I think his constant pressure is just going to be too much for Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa got fucking worked by fucking Stephen Fulton in his last fight. I can't see how he's going to beat Nick Ball, but I really hope and pray that Inui fights. Nakatani, and Nick Ball in 2026, and maybe even Bam Rodriguez. If he can fight those 3 fights in this year, I want to hear guys like John Boxing say that he's not pound for pound the #1 fighter in boxing. Really, I hope those are the 3 fights he fights, wins all of them impressively, and then I just want to hear people say, "Oh no, Devin Haney's pound for pound #1." I'm like, really? Okay. You become a 5-weight world champion. You beat 2 pound for pound fighters, and still somehow you just don't have enough melanin to fucking be pound for pound #1. I'm convinced Richard Sampson is an AI system. Really? Oh, excuse me. Sean, I wouldn't mind if Nakatani rematches Hernandez. Yeah, but that's not going to happen. Maybe it'll happen after he fights Inui, right? That's a possibility. But I would like to see Hernandez fight what's his face? Cardenas, the guy that Inui fought and got dropped by. That would be a great fight. Cardenas Hernandez. I mean, you got one nonstop aggressive fucking uh, Terminator machine in Hernandez, and then obviously Cardenas is not a typical Mexican. He's a Mexican American fighter, so a bit of a boxer, a bit of a puncher. A little bit more variety in his skill set. Showed he's got some big power, so that fight would be good. I would like to see that. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Hernandez beat Cardenas and stop him, right? Which would then really fucking highlight some of the hate and negativity Nakatani's received from his tough performance against the kid. Good inside work from Flores. Good little uppercuts in the inside. Very effective. So far, I got Flores winning easy in this fight. Nice right hand from Flores. I just don't think Flores has big power. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get Chavez out of there. But I think he's going to win this fight easily, at least the way the fight's going now. I think the problem with Chavez is you're moving and boxing, but you're not letting your hands go. I say this all the time for boxers and movers. You can't fucking throw one punch at a time. You got to fucking throw combinations. If you're going to pick and choose your spots to fucking engage, when you do engage, you got to maybe give up your power for fucking volume, right? Throw like a three, four, five punch combination and then get out and fucking move. See, like that's better when he's doing there, letting his hands flow. And then you end up landing shots people don't see. But trying to load up on one shot, that shit don't work. I think Hernandez is a little more durable than Cardenas. Yeah, yeah, me too. But Cardenas is more experienced, has a little more skill. Sean, do you remember the denim uniforms Kentucky wore in '96? This being the 30-year anniversary, they're wearing denim Saturday versus Tennessee. Really? Nice. That '96 team is one of the best. Who's the '96 team? Dates and stuff fucking confuse me. I just saw something yesterday, today, earlier on when I was watching the Kansas game. 1988. Who won the title? Kansas. Who was the star player? Fucking skinny boy, fucking Manning. Is that how I say his name? Manning? 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 I was like, 1988. It just shows you how fast time goes. I was 20 years old in 1988. Doesn't seem so long ago, but when you put it in context, it's like, fuck, 1988 was so long ago. There's like these new generation 2000 kids, and they don't even understand what 1988 is. And I sort of think this is what our parents and grandparents must have thought talking to us. These young kids don't know nothing. Ah, fucking, I loved Anderson. Anderson was great. Pope, Tony Delk, Walker. Yeah, Anderson was a great player. What team did he play in the NBA? He was teamed up with another great player. Was it college? Oh, nice counter shot from Chavez. Oh, I need to go grab a coffee. So what's everyone saying about this fight since I'm not listening? Are they saying Flores is winning, or are they saying what they always do? Oh, Chavez, he's dominating, boxing like crazy, unbelievable boxing performance. Oh my God. Headbutt. Come on, Flores. Nice body shot from Chavez. That big right hand to the gut. I wish Flores would throw that straight left to the body a little more. Boom. Down the pipe. Oh, nice lead right from Chavez. Oh, another nice right hand from Chavez. Chavez having a better round now, round five. Oh, switched and got fucking hit. That wasn't a good move. You opened yourself up for the straight left hand. There you go. Good work, Flores. Let your hands go. Oh, good end to the round. What? Schofield's gonna ask for 15 million to fight Abdullah Mason because they're clowns. Uh, who you got, Cruz or Murtazaliev? They were talking a lot about Ish the other day on Mill City. Talking Ish about what? What kind of Ish? Salute, my brother. Evis, welcome to the chat. Sean, will you watch the first card for TKO Boxing? It's next Friday. Uh, I probably will. The problem is, where can I watch it? I will see if it's going to be shown in Taiwan. People are criminally underrated. Teo's defense too. His head movement and reflexes are amazing. Top three clowns in boxing: Schofield, Shield, Tank Davis. Backroom is fighting Josh Kelly. Yes, he is. We talked about that earlier. Cambosa's fight was 4 years ago. Well, you know, when it comes down to it, there's always going to be a big push between Tio and Shakur fans because it's really racially charged, right? You have guys like Punch Drunk Boxing who are just delusional fucking Tio fans. And then you get fucking the FBA boxing fan that just want to fucking make everything about race. So, of course, they're going to fucking cry and moan when anybody says anything anti Tio, sorry, Shakur, but they're going to fucking have no issue shitting all over Lopez. The point is, it's a great fight. It's a huge legacy fight for both guys. The winner's going to be my top five. And at this point, I don't know who's going to win. As far as Muratalla versus Cruz, it's a tough fight because we don't know that much. Nestor Gibbs is totally a casual, totally a casual. Only watches boxing in America. Fucking, he exposed himself years ago. Uh, we don't know much about Cruz as far as him against great competition. Nice right hand from Flores. Uh, and as far as Maritella, he's trying to reinvent himself into a new style. I don't know if that style is going to be beneficial against a guy like Cruz, right? A guy like Cruz being an aggressive Mexican fighter might actually be better than trying to outbox a boxer. So we will see. It's a interesting matchup. I'm not sure at this point who I favor to win. Tank totally ruined his career. Nestor is totally a fucking casual. Well, Teal got hit a lot by Claggett because he fucking engaged trying to get the impressive knockout win, right? He didn't move. He like literally went fucking toe to toe with the guy. Like, oh, Flores fucking buckled Chavez's knees right there with the big left hand. See, look at this. See, I told you these guys, man, watching the fight. How do you think Chavez won the last three fucking rounds? Like moving and not throwing and not landing enough punches. Like you don't win just because you're moving. You got to land fucking punches. But that's why I always think this guy's a clown and his fight predictions. Like the guy who's been dictating the pace of the fight, landing the cleaner shots the majority of this fight has been Flores. Like even there, he's getting beat to the punch every single engagement that they fucking have right there. He lands one good punch in a round, the other guy lands far more. Like Flores is definitely fucking landing more punches. He's definitely being the one who's leading the fucking charge. But what do you expect? What about Nunez versus Nav? Well, I think if Nunez can get to Navarrete early, he could stop him. But if the fight gets past like the fourth, fifth, sixth round, then I think Navarrete is gonna beat him. What's Tank's best win? You know, Petraza, but Petraza wasn't at his best at that weight. Cruz wasn't the best at his fourth weight. Mario Barros, has went on to do good. So it might actually be Mario Barros who was his best win, and maybe potentially Frank Martin. But the point is, there's not a lot of really impressive victories. Maybe Ryan Garcia might age well, but literally you drain the guy and pulled him down weight divisions. So I don't know how that's gonna work out well. But if Ryan goes on and knocks out fucking Mario Barros and then beats Devin Haney in a rematch, well then that victory totally fucking ages great. But who expects that? Not me. After 6 rounds, I have this easily 5-1, 4-2 for Flores. Like, look, that tells you everything. Total punches thrown, total punches landed. And that's consistent throughout every fucking round. Flores is throwing more and landing more. So how do you lose rounds? Just because the other guy doesn't engage as much and stays on the outside? Oh, it's a masterclass. He's boxing unbelievable, but he's getting hit more. See, he landed 2 punches in a combination and then got hit by 2 jabs. And I don't like dudes with fucking rat tails. And still, I think Flores is winning. See, how does Chavez win if you don't engage? Like you jumping in trying to land a shot, you've been hurt. He had his legs buckled, I think, on more than one occasion. The only fucking painful shot that really he landed against Flores was a headbutt. But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? Who's winning, Flores or Chavez? This round is a slow round. You can go back to the body, Flores. Don't give up the body work. Don't headhunt. See, this is a better round for Chavez, letting his hands go in combination, like I said he should do. And he's far more effective when he does that. See, that was easily the best round from Flores. Easily. Flores has much better jab than Chavez. Tank has a face of a grinder. Remember how people tried to convince themselves that Tank was the face of the sport? Oh my God. Sean, commenting is bad these days, except Pro Box. Tank is a fraud for considering how fanboys put him as one of the best. Navarrete looked like shit against Branchek. That's true, but that was his fourth weight division, right? Now he's moved back down to his comfortable weight. Uh, they say stupid shit because there's no accountability. That's true. That's true in everything. Fucking even, social media people. Look at fan in boxing. Is there anybody less accountable than fan in boxing? Yet that guy has thousands of views on every single video. That guy's literally making a living off of YouTube, right? Yet, does he say anything that's fucking factual? Anything that isn't just fucking dick riding? Like, literally, I can't listen to a whole video of Fanon because it's ridiculous. But once again, the people supporting him is this generation of fucking disenfranchised young black man who feels that, he would dominate the world if only he wasn't black and the world wasn't against him. Right. So they all go to fucking Dante's Boxing Nation channels, Ego's channels, and fucking Fanon of all fucking channels. Like, I would say Ego and Dante at least fucking, occasionally say something that makes sense. Fanon fucking just lies non fucking stop. He fucking hates black fighters as much as he hates non-black fighters. He only fucking dick rides fighters that fucking uh who he dicks rides for, like fucking Tank Davis. Flores, pick it up a bit. Don't give up momentum. Chavez is putting his hands together finally, but he's also open for big fucking counter shots. Best way you could beat him is push him fucking backwards and let your hands go. Because his hands are fucking down. He's open for counters, but he's using volume to make you play defensive. See, you ask yourself why fucking the kid didn't do this earlier. Most of those shots just landing off gloves. That's a good shot. Like this round, he's throwing fucking combination punches. He's been aggressive. And it was just the seventh and eighth round where he's actually showing any fucking oomph. Flores definitely looks like he's fucking slowing down in his gas tank. His punch output is definitely fucking lowered. And you got to be doing better than this because in the last few rounds, if you give up momentum, you're going to lose the fight. Even if I had you up in the first half. Bang. What are you saying? Remember how people tried to convince themselves that Tank was the face of the sport of boxing? I know. People will say anything. Fannin blocked me years ago. Me too. It's almost like a cult. You lose brown brain cells listening to LDBC idiots. Barbershop constipation was like that. Only radical LDBC channels, from what I can tell. I've never seen that middle emoji. Blood boxing was with them before, but never conformed to their bullshit. Well, how could you conform to their bullshit? Right? Because it's just bullshit. Not to flex or anything, but I had an Android, laugh out loud. An Android, round nine. Flores, you get fucking your second wind. You're gonna have to need to pick it up, man. Oh, both guys landed good shots. That's why I say he's open for counter shots because he lets his hands go throws, but his hands are fucking down. His chin is up. You could land some big shots against him. Oh, Mannix, your scorecard is garbage. I have it 77-75 for Flores. But Chavez definitely has more energy going into the second half of the fight. If he keeps throwing those combinations, he's going to win easily. Admiral Williams is going to get his ass whooped by Adamas. I think so. I think so. But maybe he made adjustments. Maybe he's improved after getting demolished by Perez, right? Like that's the one thing you can't ignore. You know, maybe he was motivated based on how dominant he got his ass beat to actually make some adjustments and improve. I always thought he was an overhyped fighter, but we will see. Yeah, that round. Look at that. 22 headshots landed to three. That was by far the biggest round of the fight. I guess Chavez feels that Flores just has nothing in the gas tank, so he can just open up and try to fucking get him out of there. And if he can do that, that would be great. Let us see you do it. Chavez, get in there. Do it. Do it. Starch ponytail. Nice left hand from Flores. I'm not tech savvy in any way. Me neither. I think Shiraz gave him a career change beating. Me too. Why you think he got ah because that kid went into that fight thinking that it was a 50-50 fight and that he actually had a chance to win against Shiraz, a kid that was from the UK. So obviously he's not tough and he's not good, he's overrated. So I'm gonna go in there as a black American and beat his ass, only to fucking get his ass beat, demolished, destroyed. It was an eye-opening fight, but I predicted it. I had Shiraz winning that fight easily because I've just never been impressed by Amel Williams. Get more money, move to Okinawa Island. You are moving to Okinawa Island. I don't know if Okinawa is a good place to move because it is Japan, so it's not super cheap. No one really speaks English, and it's a big tourist spot, so it's going to be always tourism, right? So unless you're going to open up a business that focuses on tourism, I don't know if that's the place to go. Right now, one of the trending places is Vietnam. You can go to the beach area in Vietnam. It's much cheaper. Uh, the girls speak more English, even though Vietnamese is annoying to listen to. Do you think Canelo can beat Shiraz? That might be the fight for September. Open up a karate school in Tomei Village. I think you threw it away, Flores. You let fucking Chavez take over in the second half. Fight could still be a draw, though. I'm trying to think what were my cards going into like later on. You lose the 10th, ninth, 8th, the 7th. Ah, yeah. So it might be close. Since Opataya now signed with Zuffa Boxing, who is he going to fight over there if they don't cross promote? Well, that's always the situation with everybody, right? The reality is, cruiserweight division is kind of a dead division outside of Opataya and David Benavides and Zerto. And those two dudes have no interest in fighting him. So the least you can do by joining Zuffa, at least you're putting yourself in a position where you're going to get fights, get busy, right? And get showcased. Yes, average lifespan in Okinawa is old because they drink lots of barley tea, green tea, barley soup, and eat a lot of fish. Don't eat fucking sweet foods, no sugar. So you're an American, so you're gonna go and still eat your American food. So I don't know if that's gonna help your lifespan live to be 100. And you better save a lot of money if you're gonna live to be 100. Hearing rumors Turkey's leaving boxing, hope not. Ah, that's more bullshit from the fucking haters, from Fannin and the rest of them. I heard Fannin yesterday say Turkey is spending all that money, but I don't think it's even his. Of course, it's not fucking his. Who's gonna spend their own money? You think Al Heyman spends his own money? Bob Arum spends his own money? Oh my god, fucking people are clowns, stupid fucking idiots. Hey, Alan, you say that, but the end of fucking January is going to be a huge month in boxing, and going into February, like there's some huge. Whoa, you got to give it to fucking Chavez. He's fucking letting his gas tank go. Flores, since round 7, has been fucking an arm puncher with low volume. You're just being outworked now, buddy. I said what Chavez had to do was throw volume punches, and that's what he's done, and now he's beating your ass. Ah, Flores, you blew it. You lost fucking almost every single round in the second half. I think you lost every single round. Maybe you won the six, but seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, you lost all those. I'll be back. I need to get a fucking plug. Ah! Hi, baby. There you go. You can sit anywhere. Okay, I'm back. Lily's such a weirdo. I had a bag of clothes that I was donating, and she like rifled it out and just fucking made a bed out of it. And she struggles to walk now. She's getting old, right? So walking up the stairs is not easy. But she wants to go upstairs to make a nest and sleep there. So even now, she could be on the sofa. I'm here. It's nice. It's not cold or too hot. But she still fucking goes up there to hide in her nest. Weirdo. We are starting to finally see compelling fights, but it was real quiet for a while. The fight all promoters and fans want is Garcia Haney 2. Well, I don't know about that. That fight, I believe, is the second highest pay per view. I don't know about that. Tell me why Canelo looked like that version he fought Floyd standing next to Turkey the other day. Canelo. Well, Canelo's going to do a huge fight with Turkey, right? Huge fight. Mexico versus the world. So people say Turkey's out of boxing. It's like, what are you guys talking about? Have you been fucking paying attention? Huh. I had that prediction wrong. I picked Flores. Yeah, Canelo looks drastically younger without the beard. Hope Crawford does the 160 run. The Janibek situation missed everything up. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Now I think he might as well just retire. You missed out. The opportunity fell apart because of Janibek. So what are you going to do? Why bother? Virgil ain't leaving Golden Boy. They got a contract, so good luck with that. I mean, we've seen fucking Ryan Garcia talk about that shit consistently, and where did he go? Fucking nowhere. The reality is, what Oscar's doing is not wrong. I know we all want the fight, but if you were the promoter, would this be the fight you want next? No. Why would you want Boots versus fucking Ortiz now with no titles on the line? Right? It's the wrong fucking move. It's not the fight that should be made. Virgil should fight Funduro to win that WBC title. Boots should fight Murtazaliev because nobody wants to fight that guy. He doesn't bring money to the table. You need someone that sells. Boots beats him. Now you have a unification fight. And then you still have, obviously, uh, what's his face, who's going to be unified on the other side, probably the Puerto Rican. So you can have an undisputed champion if these guys move the way they should move. which is one guy win the WBC title, the other guy win the IBF title, and then they can fight the Puerto Rican kid. And that would be the perfect scenario. That's what any real boxing fan or promoter would envision. Does it mean we don't want the fight now if it got made? Of course we want it. Yeah, okay, no problem. Earlier the better. But let's just be honest. That's not the fight to make right now, right? It's not. And as far as Ortiz, if he thinks it is, he was calling out Errol Spence. So he also doesn't think it's the fight to make right away because he was trying to call out a fucking retired fighter who hasn't fought in 3 years, right? So we see what they want to do. They want to fucking make money. And the point of making money, that's what Oscar is doing. He's moving you in a direction to make money. You fight Funduro for the WBC title, you're going to get a career high payday for that fight. It's going to be a huge event, Mexico versus Mexico, right? Then you fight either fucking Xander Zayas for three belt unification, right? And hold fucking Boots to last, or you fight Boots to become unified. If you beat Boots, it's going to be a huge fight at that point for unification. And then you got a Xander Zayas fight for undisputed at 154 pounds. The guy that walks away the undisputed 154-pound champion is going to be one of the top 5 pound for pound fighters in boxing, whether it's Boots Ennis, Xander Zayas, or fucking Ortiz. So, right? Anyone acting like this fight has to happen now. It's like, stop. You're fucking being stupid. And anyone that thinks that Golden Boy, by holding off on this, is doing something wrong, no, they're not. They're doing what they should do. As the promoter, your job is to maneuver your fighter correctly, not fucking what boxing fans want and not what a fucking overeager fighter might want. You need to move him correctly. And that would be correct. Wow. Yeah, Funduro. Boots earned the fight. He hasn't done anything at 154. Well, it's not that he earned the fight. Obviously, that's a fight people wanted at 147, right? When nobody had a title then. But then the same thing mattered then. They weren't going to fight until they had titles. The problem is Ortiz dropped the ball because he fucking was a weight bully and couldn't fucking beat Stanionis for the WBA title. Otherwise, we would have had Boots versus Ortiz at 147 pounds for unification. That's all they're trying to do at 154. Same thing. Unification, bigger fight, more marketable, 2 titles in the line, right? You can hype that shit up, put on pay-per-view, make good money off of it. And then the winner fights fucking Xander Zayas for undisputed. Like, what did I say that isn't something that consistently is pushed and broken down every day in boxing? You can be like John, who's racial, and make this into some sort of racist scenario. Again, a stupid motherfucker. He defended Errol Spence for ducking Bud Crawford for fucking 5 years, but then he's gonna say Ortiz is ducking Boots. It's like, where's your consistency? No consistency. Because guys like him, it's all about fucking race this and race that, right? You know why Spence didn't fight Boots. The PBC blatantly ducked Bud Crawford for years. In this scenario, we know why this fight wouldn't happen now because it would be bigger for unification. To be fair, I mean, I don't care. I'm just a boxing fan. So, I'm not a promoter. For me, if you get the fight done next, beautiful, sweet, excellent. If the fight gets done later after they win world titles, nice, beautiful. I don't see Boots beating Ortiz. He gets hit too much. Well, both guys get hit too much. Let's be fair. The thing is, it's easy to say Boots gets hit too much, but he gets hit against fighters that he's not afraid of, who he's aggressive against because he knows he can stop them and he's trying to win impressively, right? The same reason any great fighter got hit too much, whether it's a Nui, Golovkin, fucking Canelo, Bud Crawford. When these guys get hit, it's because they're being overly aggressive. And if they're not overly aggressive, then we say they're boring. So, you got to be realistic. If a guy's fighting a real dangerous opponent, he's going to fight more defensive. Love your neighbor as you love thyself, says Jesus. I love my neighbors. Just ask them. They say hello to me every day. Ennis wins. He can be defensive if he wants. Of course he can. Yeah. The question is, out of the two of them, who can be more defensive? I would say probably uh, Boots Ennis. Stylistically, it's built into him to be more of a guy who fights with distance, uses his feet, keeps the guys at bay. Virgil's style is more of an aggressive, come forward guy, high at guard. So he's being aggressive and he's in range and he's pulling your punches towards you so he can open up on you. So, you know, Ortiz has much better come forward offense than Boots has back foot defense. We will see, right? When the fight gets done. Like now, this is all speculation. He said, she said, right? Like the reality is, we've seen many fights where fighters fucking didn't look great. We saw Ortiz look like dog shit versus Bohocuk. Fucking got dropped twice. He got dropped twice by Bohocuk. What's gonna happen when he fights fucking Boots Ennis, right? Ortiz jab will prove decisive against Boots. Well, that's an important punch. If Ortiz can establish his jab, that's gonna off center fucking the longer fucking dangerous fighter, allow him to get into range to fucking work that body, right? So yeah, jab is obviously very important. But I'm gonna drop the kids off at the pool. I'll be back in a few minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. Go grab a beer. Go listen to Tio fucking talk shit on the fight card right now.
dun, dun.
Huh? Yes, it was, John Smith. Yes, it was. Hey, it's good for you. Got to get that shit out, right? I don't think if Shakur Fix, yep, from New York, has fought MSJ multiple times, I think he's got kind of some home court advantage, especially if a judge from New York like seen before. Let's see what cokehead Oscar has to say. Oh, was Oscar on earlier? What did Oscar say? What did I miss? Can you guys hear me? Testing, testing, one, two, three. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Yeah, that's not me. No tamales in Taiwan, and Modelo might be hard to find. Boots is such a weight bully, has like 2 inches in height over Ortiz, and thinks this dude was beating up midgets at 140, 147. Well, I don't think Boots ever fought at 140. Uh, a captain's log. Boy, they asked him about Virgil's lawsuit. What did he say? No leg to fucking stand on. We have a contract. Of course he's gonna say that. Oh no, come on. Cheers. You guys think this shit now? The mother. Ooh, vinegar. Yeah. It's not bad. When you smell it, vinegar is strong, but the taste is subtle. Uh, I just think it's a shame Oscar's going to, not Oscar, but Virgil, piss away more time. That guy needs to get back in the ring fucking ASAP, not fuck around. Like, let's look right now. I mean, we know that Funduro is fucking holding up the WBC. So all he's going to do is what? The same typical fuckery that he always does. Fight fucking Keith Thurman. Who wants to see that fight? Nobody. Zero. Only John Boxing and fucking clowns like him. Any real boxing fan knows that that fight is pure bullshit. Inactivity is a killer, man. You don't want that shit right now. You already had 2 years of inactivity because of your health issue. Now you're going to piss away more time fighting with your promoter. Like, come on, man. Like right now, in that division. So you got Boots, they listed number one, Virgil number two, Xander Zayas, Funduro. You know, you got some good fights. He could fight Israel Madrimov, right? Madrimov, who is a dangerous opponent, a great opponent. Obviously, a guy people think gave Bud Crawford a really good fight, a guy that has bounced back. Oh, sorry, he did fight him. What am I thinking? I thought Madrimov fought Boholchuk. So, sorry, I'm confusing myself. Yeah, I thought he fought fucking Boholchuk, and so now the fight would make more sense. But sorry, yeah, obviously that doesn't make sense. He already beat the guy. He beat him, and of course he beat Boholchuk. So now who's left for him at this division as potential opponents? People were talking about Brandon Adams as a potential opponent. I mean, that's a stay busy fight. Yeah, to be fair, like unless he fights one of the top guys, there's not really any intriguing matchups for him. You got to fight Boots, Xander Zayas, Funduro. That's it. One of those three. Outside of that, you're fighting opponents, and that's okay. I mean, fine, you got to stay busy, but who's going to be somebody that's going to generate a lot of money and interest? Tim Zoo, obviously not. You beat Boholchuk already. You beat Madrimov already. Keith Thurman is going to fight Funduro, even though I don't know how Keith Thurman's ranked six based on what. Uh, Abbas is fighting Xander Zayas. Then you got guys like Isaac Duchera, Callum Walsh, Jorge Perez, who got beat by Xander Zayas, Charles Conwell, Josh Kelly's going to fight Murtazaliev. They don't even list Murtazaliev here because he's been inactive. Fucking box wreck, man. What a bunch of clowns. Rashidi Ellis, the tough kid, the Greek kid, Andre Kotakaris. That would be a fight I would do, right? You do that fight. That fight made tons of sense. This kid is undefeated, 16-0 with 11 KOs. He was the winner of that XO tournament, right? He beat Brandon Adams to win that tournament. And he just beat an undefeated fighter in Roberto Cruz in his last performance, fighting once in 2025. I think I would make that fight. He's a come forward, aggressive fighter, which is perfect for Virgil Ortiz, right? A guy that's going to bring the fight to him, allow him to look good. So I think that fight makes tons of sense. Has Curiel fight started? Actually, they're doing the come to the ring right now. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, Raul. I don't want to get fucking in trouble for having music. Last time I did that, I got in trouble. I'm like, come on, man, get real. This kid, what's his upside? I mean, the welterweight division, the best thing that happened to it is the smaller guys moving up. Because when we think about just the dudes at this weight class, there's not a lot of interest. But Haney moved up, adding good quality. Liam Pero, obviously moving up. You got Norman who was there. Catterall moving up. Palanka was there. Karen was there. Some Russian kid, Vadim Musiev, who's right there. Of course, Suzuka, who is one of the most disrespected fighters in the sport, right? A guy who earned the WBC title fight and is totally ignored. Delonte Johnson, who his last performance was fucking unbelievable. But based on that performance, who's going to want to fight him, right? Like literally, nobody wants to fight him the way he took Nicholas Flaz apart. He destroyed that kid. 4 round stoppage looked fucking unbelievable. Great performance. At this point, that kid is coming into his own, man. Nobody wants to fight him. He's definitely going to be one of the most avoided fighters in the division. Devin Haney, none of those dudes want to fight him. High risk, low reward. Then you got, of course, Raul Curiel at number 10. You know, I guess number 10 is fine because, I mean, there's a few fighters above him who I don't know if anyone knows who they are. Like this kid just beat Mbenga, stopped him in 3 rounds. The Russian kid. I saw that fight card actually. Suzoko, the French fighter. This kid deserves a big opportunity. 18-0, 9 KOs. Had a fight in 2025 beating Aegis Kavalaskis, right? That's a great win. One of the best wins you could get. Part of that, he beat Isaiah Luquera, who I mentioned earlier, and Mbenge prior to that. So he's been on a real run. That guy earned his opportunity. But literally in 2024, he didn't even fight. Didn't fight in 2024. Talk about stalling a fucking kid's career, man. Crocker, Stanionis, Romero, Gisioff, uh, Conan Walker, who looks good, the tough looking kid from the UK, Mario Barros, you know, Brandon Lee's at the weight division now, but that kid, he ain't doing nothing. So the division's got a lot of fighters, but the question is, are they going to fight each other? A lot of those guys are C tier fighters who could potentially become B or A if they actually beat each other to prove their greatness. But unfortunately, at this point, they haven't done fucking anything, really nothing, right? I mean, this fight today for Curiel versus fucking Rocha, that would have put one of these guys right into a world title fight, guaranteed. I don't know if Curiel is going to get that from beating this kid. Probably not. Late replacement, kid that was supposed to be on the undercard with one loss already, 11 wins. Not really an impressive opponent, but it is a replacement opponent. So it is what it is. I like his mouth guard, vampire teeth. Raul Curiel. Oh, Robert's in his corner. Robert. Blowouts. Let's see. Obviously, this is not easy for Raul Curiel either. You're fighting some kid that you didn't train for. You don't know anything about him. So it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. It could be tougher than expected, or it could be a fucking complete blowout. That's going to be the question. What's this kid going to bring to the fucking table? Because at this point, nobody knows who the fuck he is with those fucking crazy Rocky Balboa shorts. 11-1, 9 knockouts. So he's shown some pop, but obviously it's probably been against real low fucking competition. 29 years old, the Patriots. Oh my God. Fucking lives in Hawaii. Coming off of his first loss in his last fight to a guy who was 10-1 by majority decision. So to be fair, even in his last loss, it was a competitive fight. He didn't get blown away by probably a kid he was supposed to beat, but not a bum. So that's good news. Prior to that, he fought a guy who was 12-3, and then another guy who was 14-6. And then, yeah, then his resume is just really a load of shit after that. And to be fair, the guy that beat him, his last performance came against an unbeaten fighter himself, going the distance after beating an undefeated fighter prior to that. So, you know, he could surprise us and make this a competitive match. This is a career opportunity for him, right? You get in there, you probably got good pay as a late replacement opponent. You go in there and you showcase yourself, do a good job, show that you're tough and entertaining, and it's definitely going to help you moving forward. For Raul, he needs to go in there and destroy this motherfucker and make a statement, but he's getting touched up already. You got to beat this kid, Raul. If you look bad against a cherry pick opponent, how's that going to help you moving forward? Well, As we said, David, the guy's coming off of a loss, but it was a majority loss, right? Majority decision. So it's not like he got fucking his ass beat. He obviously won on one of the cards. But the first round, I might favor the that kid to win. The problem is, how's he going to do moving through the fight? Obviously, we know Raul Curiel is going to be able to go 12 rounds at a high pace. This other guy puts it out. Who knows? He didn't have much time to prepare. Obviously, he was, I think, on the undercard against another opponent. So, but a completely different opponent. Look at Robert, still got hands. This crowd must be a little disappointed. A fight that was fight of the year ends up turning into a fight against a nobody. To be fair, this kid's not bad. He counters off of the punches. His jabs look pretty effective. He's no bum. I would pick him to beat Michael Zarafa. Now he's digging to the head, throwing combination punches. Oh, nice uppercut. This is his Rocky Balboa moment. And I think he's being smart, making Raul Curiel move backwards. Raul is not a fighter who likes to move off the back foot. Nice uppercut by Raul. That's right. Muscle him. Muscle him. So far, so good. After 2 rounds, I could say that kid's winning. Uh, are you Jewish, Sean? Jewish? I wish. Then I'd have more money. So I bet on Corral to stop him. Not a lot, though. Canadian. Are you talking about me? Canadian and Jewish. That doesn't mean you can be Jewish and Canadian. You can be both, right? We got Jewish people in Canada. No, me too. I haven't been impressed with Raul Curiel. I thought he was like sort of a media created Mexican fighter. Obviously, him with Rocha, that was supposed to be him making his Santillian moment, and he wasn't able to do it. And I don't rate Santillian either, but Santillian was able to do what Curiel couldn't do. Maybe that's what they should do next for Curiel, him versus Santillian. That would be a good fight. But after 2 rounds, I kind of think Panthen has won the first 2 rounds. But I do expect him to start slowing down. Curiel isn't much of a puncher, right? And even, oh, nice counter shot, nice counter left from Pantheon. And for a Mexican fighter, I don't think he goes to the body all that well. And he's open for that counter fucking left hand. Well, I'm not surprised we never went to the moon. I thought all along it was more a PR stunt than anything else. Think about it. We went to the moon in like 1968, 1969, 1970, when fucking technology wasn't even close to what it is now. And now, for the last 50 fucking years, we haven't been able to go to the moon again. Yeah, okay. That makes fucking sense. That makes about as much sense as fucking John boxing. It was one of those moments, right, to bring the country together against the communist regime in Russia. Us against them, global domination. Who will land on the moon first? Like, did Russia even try to land on the moon? I don't think so. They obviously had space, people living in space for exorbitant amounts of time. Like, they definitely won the battle for like living in space. Oh, fucking Pantheon's fighting good, man. After 3 rounds, I kind of think he's big right hand from Pantheon. I'd love to see Pantheon fucking win this fight. Can you imagine what a fucking upset that would be? Come on, Pantheon, land something, drop him. Ah, now you're going to the body, Curry. That's what you need to do against this dude. Pantheon's got gym muscles. Hey, I never thought they should have took out Gaddafi. Even Hugo Chavez, right? I think Hugo blew it, kind of like what's his face in Zimbabwe. But when you look at what's his face in Zimbabwe and Gaddafi and Chavez, what they were trying to do, I think, wasn't wrong. They were trying to use their resources to pull these continents and these countries together, right? Hugo Chavez wanted to make South America stronger globally. Tons of resources. There's no reason South America shouldn't be one of the strongest sort of powers in the world. But it's uniting them. And then, of course, Gaddafi was trying to do that with oil in Africa, right? To make them independent, strong, use the oil money to bring Africa together and be able to utilize the resources to be successful. I think that would have been great. I mean, not them controlling these continents, but being using their natural resources, their oil, to help build up and benefit the whole continent as a whole, build ecosystems, build the cities. You know, you turn these continents into strong, dominant continents, it benefits everybody. You have more global market to sell to, more natural resources that are not, being used properly. Uh, yeah, I think it's not a bad thing. I mean, if India and China can do so well, and they don't have the natural resources that Gaddafi or fucking Venezuela had, I don't think independently. It just shows you management. It's all about management, right? And when people criticize Trump, I think what they fail to understand is management. What Trump is doing well is management. What Biden and other presidents before him failed to do was management. They just did not know how to manage a country. Just as expected, Curiel's picking it up now. I figured he would sort of take over in the second half of this fight. I think Pantheon will start to slow down, but so far Pantheon's still game. I think he's up 3 rounds to a zero or maybe 2 rounds to one. But yeah, you notice nobody complained when fucking they took out Gaddafi. No, that was Trump that did that. Can you fucking imagine? Oh my God. Holy fuck. The world's ending. The next Hitler. Oh my God. Fucking Trump killed a president of a country without cabinet fucking you know, confirmation. Oh holy moly. Okay. Addicts is agreeing with me so far. Overall, I mean, they can't be disappointed. At least the fights turned out to be a good scrap. Pantheon is in there, fucking letting his hands go. He's there to be hit, but he's also game. He's no pushover. Nice head movement. He looks like the white Canelo Alvarez in there. Look at that. The white Canelo Alvarez, the American Canelo Alvarez, fucking Pantheon. Let's go, Pantheon. You could be the face of American boxing. The white Canelo Alvarez. He's got better footwork than Canelo. 2-2 round wise. So Curry ain't doing shit against this guy. My DAZN is down. It's no Curiel's picking it up now. He's picking it up. Hillary was laughing when Gaddafi was taken out. She planned it. Imagine that, right? Laughing. Cunt. But people never have a bad thing to say about her. Cunt. Like, if you think about characters, she is fucking one of the worst. Of course. Yeah. I never heard that, but can you imagine Gaddafi doing something to help Black America and she fucking vetoed it? Clinton's put Gaddafi on the CIA. What? I can't read that. Hit list? What does it say? Yeah, no, I mean, Gaddafi strengthened Libya, but they are happy that Nigeria and fucking Venezuela and Libya is, you know, unstable because this allows England and America, obviously, to control the oil production from those countries. Clintons are extremely evil, corruption in Haiti. Clintons are terrible. Like, you hear all these people talking about Rape Island and trying to pinpoint fucking Trump. But we know for a fact that Clinton went to that island fucking over 20 times. So if you're so critical of Trump, who never went to the fucking island, why don't you have the same energy or same smoke for fucking Clinton? A guy that got caught getting a blowjob in the Oval Office from fucking that hag that fucking that he was working with him. Africa is not poor, just mismanaged. That's what I said. Management, right? Gaddafi trying to fucking manage Africa. Chavez trying to manage fucking South America. What they were doing wasn't wrong. The problem is most of the presidents and fucking people leading these countries are also fucking selfish and individualistic that they don't care about the betterment of everything together. See, Trump, you might say, is doesn't care about the world, but he cares about America. And if the world is stable and doing well, it benefits America, right? If the Middle East is all working together, oil, money, Israel, fucking Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, everyone spending money, making money, This benefits America. They don't need to fucking piss away fucking billions of dollars making sure that Russia and China don't get their fucking hooks into it. Curiel is definitely picking it up now, but that's what I figured would happen. I figured this white Canelo Alvarez would slow down in the second half of the fight. But he's still game. He's still throwing. Just Curiel is picking up his volume. He's a much more experienced fighter, so no surprises there. And now instead of the white Canelo pushing Curiel back, Curiel is starting to push Canelo back. And that's not a good thing. That's it, Canelo. Let those hooks go. Yeah, calm down, Judge. It's a fight. I didn't hit him in the nuts. I like that Nikki spoke about it. Who's Nikki? World Bank, IMF control most African leaders. Who control them? Israel. You think this fight is going to go the distance? Uh, it's a 12 rounder, right? Or did they turn it to a 10 rounder? If it's a 12 rounder, I think Curiel could stop this guy late. Oh, look who's in his corner. That left hand can counter that uppercut, though. That's what we saw from the white fucking Canelo. He can hit that left hand counter over those uppercuts. So that's the punch. If I was him, I'd be looking for big fucking counter left. Boom! Drop Curiel right there. Get ready to throw that fucking counter left. But to be fair, this fight's turning out to be far more entertaining than anyone would have fucking felt possible. The Patriot representing America. We know John Boxing is totally fucking pushing for the Patriot to win. Pantheon. I mean, John loves American boxers, so you know he's got to be stoked to see this kid doing well. Obviously, don't want no fucking Mexican to be winning against an American. That shit would be disgusting, terrible. You know, I saw John talking about David Benavidez and stuff, and the irony is when David Benavidez becomes a pound for pound top three fighter in boxing, and potentially people are talking about him being the number one pound for pound fighter in boxing. You think John's still going to be talking good about David Benavidez? Or is he going to be talking about his crappy resume, the fact he's never unified, he's a weight bully? You know what he's going to be pulling out? The same old bullshit that fucking he does against everyone. So I always think it's funny. It's like, dude, stop. We already know fucking you don't care about David Benavidez. You could literally give two shits about him as a fighter. That left hand of the body is starting to affect Pantheon. Come on, Pantheon. You got to give it as well as you get it. Let those lefts go to the body. Oh, nice counter uppercut. Fight's heating up. They're doing 10? Ah, yeah. Then I think it goes to distance. Ibrahim Traore, who is the last real leader in Africa, dodged attempt number 203, President Burka Fassina. CIA put Traore on their hit list. He is innocent. I've never heard of him. Burkina Faso. I don't know why America would even worry about a president in Burkina Faso. But the CIA always out there doing some shit dodgy. Nothing new. You look like you're slowing down, Pantheon. My hair looks brilliant. Brilliant. You know who would hate this? That dead motherfucker. Barboza Garcia, February 21st. So next Saturday, the 24th, Raymond Murtatala versus Andy Cruz. Khalil Cole versus Jesse Hart. I think Jesse Hart's going to knock his ass out. Israel Madrimov versus Luis David Salazar. Omari Jones versus Jerome Baxter. Ronnie Alvarez. Zaquin Moses. I'm surprised he's on this card and not on Shakur Stevenson's card. Who's he fighting? A guy who's 7-2-1. Okay. Moses only 5-0. So obviously not the highest level of opponent. Alvarez, a good amateur, 5-0 with 4 knockouts from Cuba. Fighting guy 7-2. Diego Galipos, 10-0, 8 KOs. Fighting guy who's 3-0. That's quite the step back, especially considering his last fight was against Alberto Machado, who at one time was a good fighter. He wants to create gold currency in Africa and push out the European banks. Rothschilds are evil. Imagine waking up in hell without a penny. Rothschilds, they've always been fucking global domination. Nothing's changed. It's just people now are more ignorant or less ignorant of their impact. You notice if you look at the richest people in the world, Rothschilds are never up there because their money is hidden. It's not out there for everyone to see. It's like guys like Stanley Ho, right? All these real rich people, you can't even fucking really find out how much money they own because it's not there. It's hidden. The best way to dominate is to stay in the shadows, not fucking put yourself out there for everyone to see. Nice counter shots from Pantheon. There, you had that left. You should have just fucking turned it over right there. Good thing for Pantheon. Even if he loses, when he loses this fight against Curiel, he's still going to get more opportunities because he's came in short notice and he's been game all fight. He's shown that he's pretty good. Good head movement. Lets his hands go. He's not a boring fighter. He's also not a devastating puncher, so he's a perfect opponent for fucking guys because you don't have to worry too much about him because it's not like he's gonna like one hit you and quit you. He's the white Canelo without the power. Would Boots stop Pantheon? Fucking yes. Well, I mean, Boots is also bigger than both these guys, right? Boots now at 154. This fight's 147. So, but I definitely think Boots stops both of these fucking guys. Curiel, Rocha, and fucking Pantheon, all fucking on the same night. None of those guys are on that fucking level. None of them. What is Conwell going to do now? Virgil hates Golden Boy. Well, maybe that's a fight to make. Conwell versus I don't know why people put fucking filters on their pictures that make them look fucking bad. It's like imagine looking at your filter and thinking that somehow this looks good, even though it looks terrible. That looks good. Damn. Hi there, sweetie. No matter how old you get, you still can't stop fucking craving women. The only thing that happens when you get older is you realize you really want to deal with the fucking bullshit. You can lust for them, but you really want to fucking deal with them, right? That's why it's better just to buy prostitutes. You can pick out sweet fucking hot bitches, and then once you're done, they're fucking out. And you don't need to deal with any fucking drama. And you're always paying anyway, so you might as well just fucking pay so that fucking you can like manage it into your finances. Sean, who would you like to see end his fight now that Ortiz bout isn't happening? Murzalia, right? That's the fight to make. Murzalia. You win that fight, you become an IBF champion. And now, whether you get the fucking Ortiz fight or not, now you're in line for a fucking Xander Zayas three belt unification fight. You're in line for a Funduro unification fight, right? It's perfect. And if Virgil Ortiz is just gonna fucking be in court fighting his contract, who cares? Fuck that dude. Whatever. He's irrelevant. Irrelevant. Stints for Fury. Been single for over 5 years. Never been so stress free and had so much more money. Exactly. 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 Women say, "Oh, we don't need men." Oh, fuck that. Men really don't need women. If we're not fucking you, you're bringing very little to the table that fucking makes anything worthwhile. Fucking like that white bitch that just got shot in Minnesota. She tells you everything you need to know about fucking what's going on with Christian countries around the world right now. That crazy fucking lesbian bitch who's was married and had a kid turns into a lesbian, becomes fucking a protester, fucking tries to run over a cop, gets shot, and now people are trying to turn her into George Floyd number two. And people say even white women can get shot. Oh my god. Fucking Christ. The stupidity. Sean, do you looks Max? What's that? Canelo fans say Bud Duck and Canelo rematch. How to discredit him again? Well, crazy Canelo fans always going to talk crazy. Like, come on, Bud beat him. He don't need to fucking fight him again. He could fucking do what he did, which was retire. I was with my ex for 9 years. Was broke for those 9 years. Exactly. When my ex was living with me, uh, really financially, her family, she's loaded. So she had more money than I did. But I consistently, she wasn't bad. She spent money and bought dinner and treated and did this. But really, mostly I spent all my money. She spent very little of her money. Bivol versus Better BF3. What the fuck is happening in that fight? Well, be fair. Bivol's just coming back from back surgery. He's going to fight his mandatory, and then the Better BF fight's going to happen later on in 2026, which is too bad because Better BF is going to be like 40 fucking one. Look, Max is some stupid trend starting by my generation. I don't even know what it is. Our generator. Huh? What's it dao? Tiamo. I don't know. Look, Max. Let me ask my good friend. Hi, what's Look Max? Internet slang that means trying to maximize how attractive you look, especially your physical appearance. It's most commonly used online forums, TikTok, Reddit, dating advice spaces. What look maxing can include is grooming, style upgrading, fitness, hygiene, minor cosmetic steps. Uh, Me, no, I always look good. I don't have to look max. That's bitches online. You ever notice when you go to those dating websites, filters like crazy. And then if you meet any of those girls, they're fucking old, ugly, and fat. My pictures are me. Perfect. There's no fucking look maxing on my side. But girls, man, come on. You know, you go to any of these things and it's just like, man, nobody even knows that this is real you. Like, first of all, she don't look so good anyway, but you know she's look maxing. Oh well, her too. Tons of makeup. She looks not bad for a chubby girl, but you know if you saw her in person, she'd be mm-mm-mm. Oh, she don't want to be seen. She don't want to be seen. To be fair, it looks like a lot of these girls look maxing or making themselves look max terrible. But yeah, doesn't look too bad. I guarantee she don't look like that in real. Filters and all kinds of shit. Hmm. I didn't know you were on Tinder. I have it, but I don't really use it because Tinder's not made for men. Boomers had it easy back in the day, eh? Our generation was raised to be providers. Red pill, blue pill, black pill, manosphere, sphere, this, that. This was twisted men for real life purposes. The answer is Jesus Christ. I don't live on Tinder. 9 times out of 10, any girl that responds to me, I'm just kind of like, "Ugh, yeah, I don't know if this is worth my effort to spend my time, my money to get closer to this girl, hoping to get laid." And when I really look at most of the ones that respond, I'm kind of like, eh. And I understand. I'm 58 years old, so a lot of the girls there, they all think they're tens, right? They all think fucking they want to be married to some 40-year-old billionaire dude that's 6'3" with a six pack. And it's like, yeah, okay. Most of you are fucking god awful. Sean, where should I look for a girl who looks like Sydney Sweeney? I want to test my luck. Sydney Sweeney, lots of normal girls look like Sydney Sweeney. She's not so special. Her face is okay. She's got some big ass titties and she's in good shape. So her tits and ass look fit. Short girl, well shaped. Her face is a 7. Her body's a 10. Go to the gym and look at the girl who looks insecure and then hit on her. Well, why are you sitting down in one position for 3 fucking days? I don't know if that's physically possible. Unless you're like a Buddhist monk. Round 10, Raul Curiel, they're bringing it. To be fair, this fight's been good. Both guys brought it. I think if I was Raul Curiel, I'd be disappointed because at the end of the day, yes, at the end of the day, he was supposed to fucking, beat a guy like this in far more impressive fashion. And this, oh, we almost dropped him right there. Don't hold him. You almost fucking dropped him. Follow it up with something. The biggest problem this white Canelo has is coming out of clinches, he always gets fucking hit. He thinks somehow guys leave clinches fair, but Curiel always is hitting out of the clinch, and he gets hit every single fucking time. Every single time. You got to give it to the White Canelo, though. He's been game. Good toughness, landed a lot of clean, good shots. He's probably won some fans tonight. Tinder is all for females, but most dating sites are all for females. Only women can fucking reach out, right? If they don't reach out, then there's no engagement. What? Why's your friend so dirty? You walk your dog 2 or 3 times a day, a week. A week. You shouldn't have a fucking dog. Can you imagine? That's like a disgusting person, man. You letting your dog shit in your house. You don't walk your dog every fucking day. That's like fucking boarding up your toilet and saying, don't worry, we'll open it up on Wednesday. Hold it till then. People are fucking weirdos, man. Weirdos. Oh, he fought good. It's a close fight. Curiel will probably win. He's the name, but he wasn't impressive. Yes, Shakur. Curiel sucks. Come on, David. Listen to this guy. He like talks out of his ass so fucking much. Did they say who the winner was? I think those scorecards are out of fucking whack as well. Of course he does, because Mannix is a fucking tool. Yeah, of course you do, because you're fucking a tool as well. Oh, oh, I think he kind of looks like Canelo. No knockdowns. It's good to see Detroit turning around. Management, right? You get good politicians who can manage their city, their state, their country, and this is what happens. Unfortunately, we have too many politicians that are just fucking not good management. Shit. And they ruin everything. But thanks everyone for jumping in on this late notice boxing spectacular. And obviously next weekend and the weekend after we got some big fights. So excuse me. I will see you then. Stay fucking good until then, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Have a good weekend. Later.